Okay, Johnson, if we have a quick look back at Saturday, frustrating to go out in the manner we did, I suppose.
Yeah, it was pretty disappointing, to be honest. I think that it's hard to. There is a word that could describe it, but I can't say it on camera. We went from being in reasonable control of the game to concede 3 goals, which we haven't done all season. We've not conceded 3 goals at home, and so, you know, lots of people ask lots of questions. Did we take our foot off the pedal? Did we do this? Did we do that? I don't think we've done any of that. I just think we played incredibly poorly, I'll be honest. I thought that the nature of the first goal was disappointing because it was an error. And I think the nature of the last goal, I'll be honest, was an error. I don't think it was a free kick, by the way. I don't think it was ever a free kick. In fact, when I watched it back a couple of times, I think if he wanted to give a free kick for that now, he might have given it the other way. So that was disappointing, but that's not the reason that we lost. I just think that we had too many players at one stage that I think just switched off from the game, and I don't know why. We've played poorly before, but not switched off like that in a game. And I think that, if I'm being honest, that's a massive kick up the backside, because I think the FA Trophy is a fantastic competition. I really do. I don't think that'll have any bearing on the league. I think that our league form has been reasonably consistent, and when we come to the second half of the season, we just got to up it a little bit. But it was really disappointing. It was, as I said, there's a word I could use, but I won't use. But it was really disappointing. So,
looking ahead to the festive period, is there anything really you do differently? Obviously, with all these games in such quick succession.
I think I think players have to rest. You know, as much as you need to train, you need to rest as well. So the programme changes a little bit. I think that the emphasis doesn't need to be so much on fitness. Players, if they're not fit now, ain't never going to be fit, and we are fit. I think the emphasis really needs to be on organisational stuff. So we've started really with that probably the last couple of days as well. So we have had 1 or 2 injuries that probably hasn't helped us a little bit. But over this period, you know, it's important to keep people fresh so they don't get injured. So we won't be sort of training like ridiculously hard. Most of it will be really of the coaching nature, not the running up and down nature.
Will that team be in next week in between the Dorking and Christmas?
Yeah. We've worked our programme out, the right amount of rest, the right amount of training. But sometimes, you know, when you do get together, it's to get a group together, really to do not too much, sometimes just warm down, but it's important that the team sometimes is together, even when they don't need to do too much work. So, I mean, over the years you work out formulas, they do change, you know, your ideas change sometimes and it evolves as you go on. But by and large, I wouldn't think there'd be too many differences about what we do at this level and what they do at that level. The right amount of rest and the right amount of organisational. The fitness takes care of itself in the games, really.
As a manager, do you enjoy this period and having all these games?
No. No, I don't, to be honest. Yeah. You know, when I was a player, I used to love the Christmas period. And I know if I was a supporter, I would probably still love it. Get out the house on Boxing Day and do that. But I'd be honest, I'd sooner spend more time with my family. I'll be honest, I would. I never used to be an advocate of a Christmas break, but I am now. I have become that. I think that, you know, the season in itself is tough anyway. You know, for all clubs, at all levels. You know, at that level, you know, they come thick and fast, and they've got people worth millions of pounds leave themselves open for injury, and at our level, we've got we don't. We come in and train full time, but some people have jobs, and I think I think it does put a strain. I think it does, and also think it, in some cases, not in mine, but in some cases, it strains on families as well. And I'm not so sure that, you know, I'm a big believer in, you know, people being happy at home and they're happy at work. And sometimes I do think people are under a little bit of pressure when they've got to play Boxing Day. And I've done this, by the way. I've travelled on Christmas afternoon, Christmas night, had to go and travel for a game on Boxing Day. And I'm not sure it's right. It's what we do, so we get on with it. But I'm not a big advocate.
And as well as Boxing Day, you've then got the two games in 3 days, so really not ideal in terms of...
No, it's not. It's not. It's what we do, and we just get on with it and do with it. But if I was voting for it, I wouldn't vote for it.
So in terms of some squad news, Nana's left today. Just a move that didn't quite work out as well as we hoped.
I'm going to say this, not just me. This is all the staff. This kid was the nicest, most humblest kid. He really was. I had him at Barnet. He'd done well. It just didn't work for him. I don't know, and really, I don't know why. He doesn't know why. He knows it. He hasn't played great. And to be honest, I feel quite sad about it. You know, people move for millions of pounds. You know, I always use the Sanchez Arsenal to Manchester United story. Pogba to Manchester United. It don't work. For some reason, it don't work. But this kid trained hard. He was the nicest person you could meet. He wanted to do well. We never had any issues with how hard he worked and what he'd done. He was a very polite and courteous young man, and it hasn't worked. And as much as I'm disappointed, you know, he is one of a group of players that we feel we haven't seen what we'd like to see. And we made him available. He's gone. He's not gone to a club. He'll find a club. I don't have any doubt about that. And really, I'm disappointed it hasn't worked, because I actually thought it was. And I always use David Pleat, who's an encyclopedia of football. When I went to Barnet, he went, "Well, this kid's a good player," and he was a good player, but it hasn't worked for me.
In terms of any other squad news, I think a couple of weeks ago we spoke about maybe Olutade being recalled. Is that something we may be looking to do?
Yeah, I think that it's something that we will do. Probably not this week, but it's something that as we come up to the turn of the year, I think we'll do. I think it'll be the right thing to do. We're just looking at some injuries at the moment that I think we've formulated our team for the Saturday. But we do have one or two knocks, but hopefully they'll be back to cover I call after Saturday the Christmas period, so hopefully they'll be back for the Christmas period. And I think if we don't force people in to play a game and then miss 2 or 3, maybe just better to miss 1 and play 2 or 3. So we'll look at it when we get together tomorrow.
And lastly, so just on tomorrow's game specifically, obviously weren't a great performance up at their place, so a few things to put right on Saturday.
Of all of our performances this year, for me, that game and the Wildstone game were the 2 games where I know we're better than we produced. We could almost put one of those, not both of them, I think, down to like the newness of the team, you know, still knowing our way. We can't do any of that now, so we expect a better performance tomorrow. We've put on some good performances of late. I've been pleased with our performances, other than the game against Concord. And I also do separate, I'll be honest, I do separate cup competitions from league competition. You know, you ain't got to be the best team to win the cup. In any of the cups, you've got to be sometimes a bit fortunate with the draws you get. They can contribute to how far you go in the cup. In the league, you've got to play 40 odd games, and you've got best team always wins the league, best team don't always win the cup. Best team always wins the league. And as far as I'm concerned, this is the competition that we're here for. It'd be great for this club to go to Wembley. We've great for the club to have had a decent FA Cup run and a good game and a good performance of Blackpool. So I'm really pleased with that. But this is, for me, and always has been, this is what football's all about, how well you do in the league. Second half of the season, we need to push on and establish ourselves in that top group. Will the sun be out every day for us? No, it won't. But we have to respond to disappointments. We've done that this year. We've responded to disappointments, but we have to push on second half of the season.